I'm McKenna Liebeck, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a homemade chocolate cake with homemade magic chocolate frosting. If you have never heard how to make this cake, listen up and you will learn the tricks of the trade. This is one of my family's favorite recipes for our birthday cakes, and it's been passed down through the generations. My goals of this presentation are to inform you how to make a homemade chocolate cake, how to make homemade magic chocolate frosting, how you can sour milk, why you mix your ingredients separately, how you can tell if your cake is baked thoroughly, why you use a double boiler, and how to efficiently frost your cake. First, before I mix any of my ingredients together, I need to look at the recipe and make sure I have all of my ingredients. I also look at the temperature I need to bake my cake at, which in this case is 350 degrees, so I preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Then I set out all my ingredients, as well as my utensils that I will need, such as my spoons and bowls and measuring spoons. Then I clear a space and I wash my hands and I'm ready to start mixing my cake. First, you mix your 2 eggs, your 2 cups of sugar, your half a cup of melted butter, and your 3 tablespoons of cocoa. In the bowl here I already have my sugar, and I'm going to mix in my eggs, my cocoa, and my melted butter. I have those in the bowl. Mix them. Then I move on to my next bowl, which is of my dry ingredients, which is 2 cups of flour. I already have my 2 cups of flour in here. And my half a teaspoon of salt. I'm adding my teaspoon in. Then I mix these together. Then I move on to my half a cup of sour milk and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And this I have in here. You can spoil your milk, or you can sour your milk by adding 1 teaspoon of vinegar into your mixture. And the reason why you mix all of these separately is to avoid the clumping of your ingredients. And after you've mixed all of these separately, you add them in together. And you stir and mix it. And just keep stirring that until it's mixed together smoothly. Then you add your 1 cup of boiling water and your teaspoon of vanilla. You mix this together and blend it, and you bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. And this makes 1 9x13 pan. And you can tell if your cake is baked thoroughly by inserting a toothpick in the center of it. And if the toothpick comes out clean, that means your cake is done. If it isn't clean, you can just throw it back in the oven for a few more minutes. Now we'll move on to the frosting. Use a double boiler pan for the frosting to avoid the scorching of your frosting and make sure that your ingredients are mixed smoothly. First, you put in your 1 15-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. I already have that in here. Then you put in your teaspoon or tablespoon of water. Then you add in your half a teaspoon of salt and your 1 square of unsweetened chocolate. You put this on the stove on high heat. You mix it well in this double boiling pan for about 15 minutes or until your mixture is boiling. After you're done boiling your frosting, you can go ahead and add in your half teaspoon of vanilla, and you just keep mixing that together. After you're done baking your cake and your frosting and mixing your frosting, you can go ahead and frost your cake. In order to do that, your cake needs to be cool and your frosting needs to be warm. Your cake needs to be cool so it doesn't absorb the frosting. The frosting needs to be warm so it spreads evenly on the cake. In conclusion, this is how to make my family's homemade chocolate cake and our homemade chocolate magic frosting. After following my directions, you'll be left with a delicious cake that is sure to not last long. In conclusion, making this cake is tricky, but it's sure to be sweet and sticky.